Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Headquarters, your headquarters where we talk all things entertainment, movies, television, news, reviews, and more. And right now, it's trailer reaction time, and I'm excited. I'm excited for this one because I'm a big fan of this franchise. Now, Planet of the Apes has been a franchise that has always fascinated me. The overall story, the overall concept, the idea of this whole situation world has always fascinated me. The first one came out way back in, I think, was 1969. I might be wrong about the year, but it has, of course, Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowall in it. And that particular film was a huge success. It was a sci-fi blockbuster that stood out for all of the right reasons. And just like any franchise or any major successful film, they decided to franchise the shit out of it by having so many sequels and a television show. There are some good sequels. There are some terrible sequels. Then we had the Tim Burton reboot, which was done in the Tim Burton way. I wasn't a bigger fan of that one as the originals. I love Tim Burton, but I honestly don't think he was a good fit for the Planet of the Apes. He had some interesting ideas. It was very much similar to the original film. But then we come back to a brand new reboot, the reboot trilogy, which was The Rise, The Dawn, and eventually The War of the Planet of the Apes. And the first film was directed by Rupert Wyatt and it starred James Franco. And what I particularly loved about this film was how grounded it was, how they kind of kept it true to, in many ways, the original. It was also an original idea, how you had Caesar, who was, performed brilliantly by Andy Serkis. As we know, he is a brilliant motion capture actor, as well as writer, director, and overall good actor in general. He's done Gollum, he's done Kong, and now he's done Caesar in The Planet of the Apes. And I love the story. I love how they've kind of not just rebooted it, but they've kind of built the world slowly up. And it's amazing, world building. I loved how they've went about it. So to recap some things, the character of James Franco in the original film, he has a father who had Alzheimer's or dementia. He's doing experiments on chimpanzees, gorillas, different kind of species monkeys, species of monkeys, and testing out his chemicals and his antidotes to try and find the cure for his father, who is also suffering. He injects the ape Caesar, who has a huge reaction to the the virus, the concoctions that he's put in his body, and he becomes smarter, he becomes faster, he becomes super intelligent. But then there is a side effect for those who are affected by this new man-made virus, and that is people begin to die. And so the first film ends where Caesar has broken away from everybody. He has infected the rest of the captured chimpanzees. They then leave, go across the San Francisco Golden Bridge and create a new home and a new society. It ends off where the whole world is now infected by this virus. This, what was meant to be a cure and an antidote, has now become a virus to the rest of the human population, and you see throughout the globe the human population is being wiped out. Then the second film, The Dawn, takes you back to where, of course, most of the human population have been wiped out. It's now like an apocalyptic world. There is segments of humans here and there, and of course they are wanting to wipe out all the apes. And there's like a tug of war within Caesar's newly created society between him and Koba, who is like the villain ape, as well as trying to deal with the human threat. We then go into the third movie, The War of the Planet, where it's all out war between humans and the apes. Caesar now has a family. They've built this beautiful society, and he's out for blood because tragedy strikes. And during this time, you also discover that this virus that had wiped out half the human population has evolved, where it had the side effect to what was happening to the humans. The humans are no longer the humans, where apes progress and evolve and become smarter and become more, evolved. Humans, it affects the opposite way. You see Woody Harrelson's character at the end of the very first, at the end of the third film, he is now basically starting to regress, and is becoming more, like how the apes are, how they are very much regressed. They're not as intelligent. They learn how to speak. They basically become like the cavemen. And we then see Caesar, after fighting his enemies, saving his people, his ape community. He loses his life. He dies at the end of the third film. And this film is set years later, I believe, and it's now called The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And I'm hearing it's going to be very much similar to the original Planet of the Apes film. So, that's enough of me talking. That's enough of me filling you in on bits and pieces. Let's get to the new trailer for The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Whoa, here we go.
When I sleep, I see strange things.
Memories?
Not memories. New things. I see everything.
That is not everything. What a wonderful day!
Yes. Mm-hmm. Um, uh, Yeah, I'm really liking that. It's very much what I was expecting it to be. Like I said, the world building, which obviously the first director of the reboot, um, Robert Wyatt, he started it. He started it very slow. Um, then of course Matt Reeves, he took over. He made the Dawn and the War of the Planet of the Apes and continued Caesar's story. And what he was able to do was not just expand on the world, he made you want to care about Caesar, his character, care about Maurice, uh, his um, his right hand man, who was the orangutan. Um, Absolutely fantastic. I love the world. It's my second favourite, the most modern trilogies that we have, away from the Batman trilogy. And speaking of Batman, the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, speaking of Batman, Matt Reeves, then as you know, he's went on to do The Batman, which is going to be a trilogy in itself with Robert Pattinson, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I love the fact it was more like how Batman should have been, a true detective instead of just more the superhero stuff. It was very much along that tone. And that is what I'm liking about Matt Reeves and his what he's doing with Batman. But what he did with Planet of the Apes, he really made his own, and he really built this fantastic world, these group of characters. He managed to take you on this journey from the middle to the end, um, that I've thoroughly enjoyed, and it did leave you wanting more. And here we are with the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which is very much, just by looking at it, is taking um, elements from the very first film way back in 1969. I think I got the year right. Like, for example, chasing the humans and throwing and capturing them with those boomerang ropes around the legs. Everything. This is like the first three films was a true prequel to the first film. That's what it feels like. And now the kingdom looks like it's going to be a mixture, like I say, of the original with new elements and ideas. So it's very much has a chance to truly surprise us and truly be exciting and truly continue the legacy that the original reboot trilogy has done. Um, I never even bothered looking up who is directing this or who is behind it. But I'm gonna quickly have a look. We have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's actually directed by Wes Ball. I don't think I've ever heard of Wes Ball. Owen Teague is taking the lead, and I honestly believe he'll be playing the son of Caesar, because it left off the last film where Caesar had freed his people, his community, and they are now looking for a new home, and clearly they must find this new home. But also, just looking at the visuals there, the world has completely evolved again, and it's looking true to the original, true back to the 1969 original or 1979. Like I say, I've probably got the year wrong. Of the original Planet of the Apes of Charlton Heston and Roddy McDowell, where Charlton Heston landed on the planet. The apes are now the dominant species, and the humans are now like probably what we are doing with the animals, putting animals in zoos, using them as pets, using them as, probably serving slave labour. And by the looks of things, there's two communities there. And you've got the son of Caesar's community, and then you've obviously got this other community where you've seen that other ape king on the top of his throne with his crown. So it looks like we're heading into an ape on ape war here with the human elements mixed in the middle. But yes, very impressed with that. Something I will 100% be going to check out. So, like I said before, I am a huge fan of this world, and I think it's heading in the right direction. I think how they've started it slowly with the original reboot trilogy to where they're headed, it looks very exciting, and I can see it continuing to grow, continuing to get better. It looks like it's in good hands with Wes Ball, what we've seen so far. But I want to know what you thought of the new trilogy. What did you think of the original? What do you think of the trailer of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? And are you going to go see it? Let me know in the comments below what you think. But for me, I'm excited. I'm a big fan of this franchise and I can't wait to see where we go next. But until then, um, enjoy your movies, enjoy your television, enjoy all things entertainment, and I'll see you at the next one.